What's going on, my friends? If you're looking behind me, I think you recognize what you see. But it's not in process yet. It really is. It's not. Some of you on here suggested this, and it's really come to my attention lately that I think this is a way to go here. The old backyard portable buildings. And there's a company here in South Carolina that manufactures them, and they manufacture them at building code, and these things are absolutely incredible. The one behind me here is a 12 by 36, which is really cool, and I'm already going, I can really convert this to a home. Being that I already own my property, I've got to get a driveway and all that prepped, and I got to start looking at getting that done first, get the utility people involved, and then go to the county, make sure I'm good, and then get this guy involved here. And this is absolutely incredible. It really is. I'm really looking to do this. I think this is the ideal thing to do. I'd love to do the boxable. I've talked about that before. But I just don't. The boxable is not going to be feasible anytime soon. And this would be less cost doing it myself. Basically, you got a loft up there. Some of them you've seen, kind of that setup, and you've got one up there. It'd be great for storage. And I was just talking to this guy, and the way this thing is constructed, the OSB, it's residential. Everything's built same specs as your house. You've got a radiant barrier that we'd put insulation inside that really holds back a lot. It's what I would want to do prior to insulating anyway. It's kind of like I did my van and my RV, but it's on the wall here. It's a radiant. They can do options of whatever you want here. The windows I'll change out. One good thing he said is the windows, they are residential size. You can change the windows out, it'd be no problem. We've got to do dual pane windows. We need to do that. The door, residential. The one here is residential. That ain't gonna be a problem. But be it that it may, I think this might be the ticket. It might be something that would be a guest house later, which would be real cool. And they get this thing in here, we can get it finished. I just have to weigh my options of how big I want the porch. There's a porch on here, which is cool. It's a little small porch. I think this is fine. I don't need anything major on this deal. It's about 4 feet. But I mean, this stuff is amazingly built. One thing he did say, and I didn't know this because there's a lot of talk on YouTube about the siding and a lot of moisture in these things, and he said these panels have already taken care of it. Has the agents in there with against termites, pests, moisture, and he said there's technology is the LP technology in the siding that supersedes anything that they use in these other shed manufacturers. And that's what I like to hear, is that I don't have to worry about my siding or moisture or problems with that. The metal roofing and everything is in place. Basically the siding in your house, and it's treated amazingly. So he was telling me some things about how they loaded these things on and off, and how they are transported. He said these things you wouldn't believe it, but he said these things have a wind shear of 160 miles an hour. And I'm like, we're in a hurricane, 160 miles an hour winds. I'm not hanging out in this. I wouldn't hang out in a residential home for that. But it's good to know that they're that well built. So by looking around, though, it's like a house. There's things you've got to caulk and seal and do, and that will happen. But this thing is set with a roof vent. So with this roof vent, you've got a gap that's gonna probably have some airflow. You're gonna have to have a center gap in this where the insulation comes up. It has to have a gap to breathe, and that's gonna be a good thing too. So that's one question I had about when you have moisture. You got to know whether you have ventilation. It's key. It's in your own house. This is why you have an attic space. And if you don't, this is why spray foam insulation is key for the roof and such. And speaking of spray foam insulation, that's something under this I have to have done. I have to have this spray foam insulated. So it's imperative that is done. So That's a cost, but it's got to be done. I got to seal the underside of this unit and make sure that it's insulated and stuff. But the good thing is everything is treated wood and rated where I don't have to worry about a lot of on the underside. And I think that is cool. That really is. So anyway, I'll keep you guys posted, but I think we may pull the trigger on this once I get my lot and get everything. I've got things I've got to do with getting utilities involved, find out where my options are on that, cost that out. I've got to get with somebody about getting a driveway and everything, the land prepped, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this, but I'm also going to get a 10 or 12 by 16 metal shed, a metal to metal, and they have a really nice one that is just as strong from a different company, and it's going to be for me to put storage in and put tools in my lawnmower and stuff. I have to have that. It's not going to fit in this thing. It's not gonna. So, but other than that, if I pull the trigger on this, you're going to be the first to know about it, and I will keep you guys posted. I appreciate you for watching. Have a great one. Be goodbye.